So The Rock calls out the head of the table on day one Raw here. So we're going to talk about it. What do you want to talk about? Whatever. But yeah, we're going to talk about when it may be, what it means, sad Jinder Mahal. And yeah, we'll get into the pay-per-view schedule, what's possible, thoughts on it, and how it might change if it's at Elimination Chamber, if it's at a WrestleMania this year or WrestleMania next year. So let's get into it. Welcome to Bad Guy Wrestling. So my name's Jonathan, and we are getting into it with The Rock at least. So, and there's my dog Cinnamon. But anyways, so this past day one at on Raw, you had Jinder Mahal come out, and you know what? Who interrupts him eventually but The Rock himself, and that's pretty exciting. I mean, every time you hear, "Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?" I mean, that is something spectacular. It's almost as good as the glass breaking when Stone Cold comes out. And so, yeah, if it didn't get you excited, I don't know what will. But he comes out, he insults Jinder, all that kind of stuff. Smack it down and all the goodness of that. But then he basically calls out Roman Reigns by asking the audience things like, "I think I want to get something to eat after the show. And then should I sit at a booth?" And at this point, you're like, huh? What? "Should I sit at the bar?" Still, I don't know. Was not expecting this. But apparently the crowd there, and I think it was San Diego, really liked the bar. And then he said, "Or should I sit at the head of the table?" And yeah, everyone went crazy. I did too. I'll admit it. I was very excited about that. I mean, Rock was, he was the man, especially in like my teenage years and stuff like that, or like, maybe right before that. So like an 11-year-old me is when Rock starts making it big, So definitely a big fan. But let's talk a little bit more about this. So the speculation is now, of course, that we're going to have a match. And what might be funny is the first thing. I think this is funny. I think Roman Reigns is a pretty funny dude sometimes. And he posts this that night, so on January 2024. So 45 minutes after the show ends, he posts the crying emoji and whatnot. That's great. And we have Rikishi here, another member of the Samoan. I don't know what we call it, dynasty, whatever the head of this table is. He's part of at this table, and he says, "Have a seat." Now, what's the problem? So. They're all having a good time on there and everything. So anyway, so what is going to happen here? And let's take a look at a couple different maybe pathways here. The most obvious one to me is WrestleMania this year. WrestleMania was it 40 XL or whatever it's called in Philadelphia. And if The Rock's going to be there, I don't know. I went last year, but yeah, gonna have to mark it up in Philadelphia, And anyway, so that would makes a lot of sense to me. But you have some other options. Let's see Elimination Chamber. Immediately after this broke, you could see on social media people talking, suggesting Elimination Chamber, things like that, which is in Perth, Australia. So that's okay. Start thinking about it then, and we'll get into that. And then the last one, I won't even say like a big pay-per-view like SummerSlam after this, or but I would say WrestleMania the following year. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be like a wrestler, but it's The Rock. It's the fact that it's The Rock is the reason here we're talking about this. Him just showing up doesn't matter really what he does. It's The Rock. It's the same as like Stone Cold showing up. I mean, his match wasn't overly technical or anything like that, but it was The Rock with two WrestleManias ago. Not The Rock, sorry, Stone Cold. Stone Cold when he showed up. The Kevin Owens match, and it was like 2 WrestleManias ago. I guess I don't even know at this point. It wasn't last year, so it must have been the year before that, and it was pretty sweet. And so that's that kind of that level that this bringing, that kind of fanfare, that like speculations, rumors. Like I'm sure people are like, for the Stone Cold one came out who haven't watched in years, but the fact that it was Stone Cold came out and watched it and definitely maybe even got back into it a little bit. And the same would definitely be true with The Rock. I mean, even if let's say you were watching like 8 years ago, but that's when you stopped watching, let's say 8 years ago. Roman Reigns was there. You've probably heard about him a little bit. And so, maybe he wasn't at the time like that. What is that? Shield days or something like that. So it's not especially like, you could tell they were a big deal. Maybe you didn't know that he's had the belt for over 1,000 days at this point. So maybe you didn't know that, but you could probably start to believe it and things like that. So like you could get back into it, but you definitely want to see The Rock, and you want to see him going against Roman Reigns at this point. I mean, no offense, Cody, but I want to see this way more than you this year. You don't really have this. I don't know. The story just doesn't make sense right now to me. Not to say that it won't happen, just it doesn't make as much sense to me. So here, let's get into the first option. So Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And so I want to go back into this and take a look here. You'll see the next pay-per-view coming up is the Royal Rumble, which is January 27th. I mean, I guess we have to do some logistics here. But so it's in Florida, cool. And then the one after that, Vengeance Day. The Vengeance Day. So let's go. Remember Vengeance, but I didn't even know that they put a day in there or something. But anyways, February 24th. Or February 4th here, F&M Bank Arena, Clarksville, Tennessee. Network exclusive. And so, what does that mean? I mean, Rock's not coming back to this. We'll just skip to the point. It doesn't matter if you're Vengeance Day. You are not. That is not it. That's off the slate. Boom. So then we get to February 24th, Elimination Chamber in Perth. I mean, this is pretty cool. It's going to be a big time thing. Let's see. Opus Stadium. Let's see here. If I can get a little bit, 61,266. That is a very, very, very large place. Let's see. Well, last year it was in LA. So the stadium size of LA, what was it? LA Rams. SoFi. So SoFi Stadium capacity, 70,000. This is like, that's where we were last year. That place is huge. It is incredible. I hate their teams. I mean, really talking about the Rams here. Yeah, but stadium absolutely beautiful. Everything about it. So huge stadium here. But we'll go back to here. Or what? I guess we go back this way. I don't remember. It was like 60 something thousand. So we got 61,000. So it's not quite as big, but it's a big place, and it's in a different country. So those shows are always very exciting. Crowd is way into it. I mean, how many chances are you getting? And sometimes the shows can be a little bit subpar, or not subpar, just maybe just a little slightly underwhelming if it'd been like in a normal like basketball arena or something. But these things, it's just the energy. So it's not a bad option. But I mean, okay, stand and deliver, no one cares because what is this, NXT? Yeah, that's what it is, because it doesn't matter. And then you have WrestleMania. So by my count, so we're in January now, so 1 month is to February, and then to March, and then to April. We're talking about 3 months here, basically. 3 months to get to WrestleMania. So can you fit a Cody Rhodes and a Rock into one WrestleMania season, essentially? Um, I don't think you do, but I mean, who knows? I guess it could depend. So if they aren't, they decide that this is not feasible at this point, and we go to. I think Cody Rhodes would probably get pushed then, kind of out of it, and just farther down, to finish his story. It's a very long story, but so Rock, and what's not even in it, for a second here, Royal Rumble winner is the one who gets to go to WrestleMania and pick their opponent. So, championship they won. So that would mean either Rock comes at Royal Rumble, enters probably the last guy here, and does a couple, spots and everything, wins, and then gets a guaranteed shot at WrestleMania. Yep, and obviously would then pick Roman Reigns, or it means that the Royal Rumble winner chooses. Let's just assume Seth Rollins is still champion at this point, which it doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. But that means that whoever wins this would be choosing to face Seth Rollins. So, I mean, right off the top of my head, Drew McIntyre could be that guy again. It gives them enough time to settle things with the Judgment Day, because definitely seems like that's going to be going on now. So settle things, win the Royal Rumble, settle things with Judgment Day, maybe even at Elimination Chamber. Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley is from Australia, so that could be pretty cool. And then WrestleMania. Then you got boom, Roman Reigns, The Rock. All right. Or The Rock could win, like I was saying before. So second option though, the one that I hope, sorry, Cody, I'd like to give The Rock this whole amount of time to build up. This would be amazing. But so Elimination Chamber essentially would be The Rock versus Roman Reigns at this point, with the title on the line, of course, and it just kind of automatically, like, where's the suspense or anything? Because then the next pay-per-view, you would have probably Cody Rhodes winning, the Royal Rumble again, and then coming down to WrestleMania and having a repeat of last year, same WrestleMania again, essentially. He's not as hyped or as over this year, so I don't understand why they would do it that way. So I mean, he's not bigger than he was last year at this time. And so, I mean, he's still over. He can be put right in the title picture any time of day, any day going forward over the next year. And it doesn't matter. It would be boom. He just call somebody out and get a title match if he wanted to, if that was the way the story went. That he's over, but he's not as over as last year. That's all I'm saying, and that's why this doesn't make a lot of sense to me to have Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble and then go to WrestleMania. You could build the hype, but Cody already had the hype. The hype was yes, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. Now if he's in the Royal Rumble, I'm like, I don't know if he's the clear winner anymore, but let's go with that. So yeah, so I like calendars, as you can see. But the reason I want to bring it up again is let's go back to the web browser here. And so on this 401 Mania, during Busted Open Radio this week, WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray discussed The Rock's shocking return to Raw earlier this week. Okay, great. And we'll skip to this interesting part for me. It says one of the things that we're not taking into account, and this I got smarted up about on social media. Australia to Samoa is a hop, skip, and a jump. There is a huge Samoan community within Australia. Okay, so, and it almost feels like a Saudi thing where they're willing to step up to get The Rock to come over. Yeah, so maybe, let's see, what is he? No, okay, so, and the another very interesting thing about this was that, so does that mean The Rock doesn't appear at WrestleMania? He says no, because you have to screw The Rock over for Roman to get a women elimination chamber, and Roman has been winning his matches by interferences and cheating. Yeah, sure, definitely has. I mean, what was it? Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, who I'm starting to really like. I thought it was cheesy at first, but you know, this thing, I love it. But anyway, so he's you know, he's killing it. So, but he had that match and it looked like he was going to win against Roman and be the new head of the table or whatever. It was just basically kind of squashed there after the because you had the storyline of his brother being the one who screws him over on this chant, and then he goes back to the bloodline. So yeah, I mean, do they do a similar storyline again? Elimination Chamber, Rock's in there whooping his candy ass, you know, layeth the smacketh down on Roman Reigns, and you know, they're going back and forth, kind of haymakers things at the end, but then Rock gets everything, every single move, and the whole show, the electricity, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, and then like he gets screwed over by, I don't know, you know, the rest of the bloodline or something like that, or Rikishi, or like the, I don't know, maybe they all turn on him. Maybe they all turn on The Rock or something. That was, but then what? You know, so he goes and he loses that way. He's still The Rock. He looked like awesome, but Roman Reigns is still the champion. And then next month you're going after Cody Rhodes again. I don't know. That seems like a letdown, but I do like it. It does kind of make a lot of sense in some ways there. But I think feasible, what you know, they would be able to do with WrestleMania and The Rock, and then save the story, the Cody storyline, because I guarantee that is feels like a better kind of option. So final thoughts is I can honestly see their direction, but I think I think what happens is ends up being Rock versus Reigns at WrestleMania, and they carry out Cody Rhodes to next year. That I did have a previous video where, or was that on Shoots and Swerve with my boy Chris Cortez, talking about how I thought they should give him a down year as far as not in the title hunt specifically, and then use a whole year after WrestleMania this year to set up for next year. And I still think so. I mean, like his hype is not where it's at from this time last year, and I think Rock is the WrestleMania icon, and it will honestly, yeah. So sorry, Rock right now is him coming back like this, especially after last year. The rumor that he confirmed that they were working on the Roman Reigns Rock thing, and it fell apart for whatever reason. So, and they went with Cody instead. Like, they had plans for this, so we're delaying it another year. We didn't get it last year, which, man, and I'm sorry. I'm like, if I was there, oh my gosh, yeah, I know I was there guy, but The Rock is so cool. You know, 11-year-old me needs this. So yeah, make fun of me, please. I love it. So yeah, so that's it. So let's finish this up here. But if you guys have any thoughts on that, I don't know. Gee, please let me know. Tell me I'm wrong, whatever. But I don't think I am. Anyways, so yeah, follow us on the social medias, Bad Guy Wrestling. You got a little Twitter plug in there earlier. See that new segment's going to be like, yep, yeah, that's not a plug for my social media. So, anyways, yeah, let's keep going here, getting into that WrestleMania season. This is Bad Guy Wrestling, and talk to you next time.